These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Goldilocks article quote, Iraq is participating for the first time since 2004 in the Ministerial Conference of the World Trade Organization, which is held in the capital of Abu Dhabi. Iraq is currently participating in the World Trade Organization. Their potential membership is moving forward. As a full member of the WTO, they will need a rate to fully participate in this inclusion. This is truly a monumental achievement for Iraq and something the world has been waiting for a long time. There are high expectations that full acceptance into the WTO for Iraq will happen during this meeting taking place. RayRen98 said, heard from one of the three-letter folks. They're being told it's coming fast and to be ready. Frank26 has an article, quote, does deleting currency zeros affect its value? An economist explains. The CBI is sending trusted economists to explain the monetary reform education of deleting zeros from the exchange rate. Frank says, in my opinion, they're about to give the citizens a new exchange rate with a new lower notes to match. They already told them that process will then take the exchange rate. We'll then take that exchange rate, which will be at least 1-to-1, but I think it's going to be higher to float in the basket internationally. Mountain Goat says Iraq is finally breaking the news all about the project to delete the zeros. This is fantastic news, but just news for now. The actual execution part is coming. I was told by my weekly call to my CBI contact in Iraq on Saturday that it will be very soon. Militiaman has an article, quote, deleting the zeros does not conflict with its value but needs educational campaigns to precede it and a traditional period for trading the currency with zeros and the new currency to know the two currencies are equal in value. Militiaman says if we are going to be equal in value, a dinar is a dinar is a dinar, a dollar is a dollar. When it comes to an international stage, a dinar is not a dollar, nor is a dollar a British pound or a Japanese yen. The difference is in value. Are they one of each? Of course they are, but are they valued the same? Absolutely not. Samson, article number 1, the Minister of Commerce discusses with the director of the International Trade Center the formula for joint action and support for Iraq to obtain membership in the WTO. Article number 2, for the first time in 20 years, Iraq participates in the Ministerial Conference of the World Trade Organization. Sandy Ingram says Iraq and Turkey have an agreement where people and cargo can begin travel up through Iraq, into Turkey, and into the Mediterranean Sea, which will allow faster access to Europe. This project is expected to increase Iraq's GDP, provide thousands and thousands more jobs, and kickstart Iraq's economy foundation outside of the oil industry. Mark Zevia, PDK, says the World Trade Organization and the IMF and World Bank are there working with Iraq for the last week or two. The WTO and Iraq are still talking about Iraq's ascension to the WTO. Iraq has met all markers and goals, so we are all waiting on that news. Frank26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report, Firefly talked to a bank friend. He said ever since July 2023, Iraq has said the deletion project is still in effect. He said there's a lot going on with this process, and the joining of the WTO this week could see some type of announcement. My bank friend thinks the dinar will be stronger than it was in the 1980s. The article made it very clear that it will be. We are still stuck at 13.10. We'll take $1.30. Frank says, I know it's been since last year this project to delete the zeros has been going on, but the beauty of it is it's been going on. It's real. It does exist. It's not fictitious. Your currency is very, very close to having value added to your Iraqi dinar. Frank goes on to say, you citizens need this because they took the dollar away and all other foreign currencies away from you. They took almost 97% to 98% of your 3-0 notes off the street already. They created this giant void in your monetary structure so they could fill it and present to you the lower notes with the new exchange rate that would match it. Your bank friend knows something is happening. In my opinion, that is quite an improvement in the landscape of your economic and monetary reform. Claire article quote, the Minister of Commerce discusses Abu Dhabi with the World Trade Organization the completion of procedures for Iraq to join the organization. Another quote, the organization is looking forward to and following the steps for Iraq's ascension carefully. Given that Iraq is one of the most important and powerful economies that is still outside the organization, and that Iraq's presence within the organization's membership will be a great added value to the organization and to the global economy. Walking sticks is the market. The market will definitely tell you a change is coming to the exchange rate. There are reasons why it was so important to know what to look for next. The market can carry a dual rate. It should not, but it does. It carries both rates at one time, one that is official, one that is not. The dual pricing in the market for them to collect even more 3-0 notes, but they surpass this goal. There is no need for dual pricing in the market because they got a whole lot of dinars to return back. Mark Z via PDK, bankers still believe we are in that any moment window with sooner rather than later. Militiaman has an article quote, because ascension represents an urgent priority, the government seeks to meet its requirements. Urgent priority, whether they do it this week or not is going to be determined, but I tell you what, it sure is looking like they have come a long way. This is a big set of WTO meetings. Frank 26, back in 2005, Dr. Shabibi said, we aspire to bring the IQD back to the glory days of the 80s and 90s. Article quote, the dinar and its 3 zeros, is it time? The dinar returns to the dinar 1980. Dr. Shabibi, it's done. Lastly, I've got Vinterv with an article quote, Iraq has completed requirements to join WTO. Another quote, Minister of the Commerce of Iraq has confirmed that Iraq has completed the requirements to join the World Trade Organization, WTO, after completing economic reforms and improving the business environment.